María Ríos came to the States from El Salvador when she was 13 years old. She had to deal with the bullying of being a Hispanic immigrant trying to speak a language she didn't know.
From day one, I was learning English. That was my job, and I was ridiculed by my accent many times, and I went through bullying, and I just worked out of that bullying and ridiculousness for my accent, but move on. That was more like my adrenaline to keep moving forward and accomplish many, many dreams that I've been able to accomplish.
Maria is the founder and owner of Nation Waste, one of the largest waste removal operations in Houston, Texas. She just did it following her mother's advice, who taught her to be bold and take risks, and her father also, who encouraged her to dream big. Let's listen to this fascinating conversation with María Ríos, one of the most influential Hispanic women in the USA, and find out Cómo Lo Hizo.
Éxito.
Success.
Hábitos.
Habits.
¿Cómo lo hizo?
How do they make it?
Descubra las costumbres y secretos de los triunfadores.
Discover the habits and the secrets of those who have succeeded.
María Ríos, thank you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Well, my pleasure. I mean, it is a privilege and pleasure to be able to speak to you and share a little bit about my journey. So thank you for that opportunity.
Of course, you know that you're very popular. Everybody knows about María Ríos. And so you are kind of an inspirational figure for all of us. So let's start talking about your beginnings. How did everything start? Where you were born? ¿Dónde nació? How, the whole story. Please tell me about it.
Absolutely. Of course, I can briefly tell you, I came to America when I was 13 years of age from El Salvador with my parents. Why? Because of a civil war in the country. And our parents, they thought that we could be better off and for much better education. Why not America? So we arrived in America, and my job was to go to school, and life was totally different. At 13, I left all my friends, new schools, new friends, very difficult. And in the very beginning, from day one, I was learning English. That was my job, and I was ridiculed by my accent many times, and I went through bullying, and I just worked out of that bullying and ridiculousness for my accent, but move on. That was more like my adrenaline to keep moving forward and accomplish many, many dreams that I've been able to accomplish.
That was like how long ago? That was...
I came to America when I was 13 years of age, but then I came to go to school. Then I graduated from high school. When I graduated from high school, I graduated with honors. But then immediately after I graduated from high school, I got married. And that could have been a turn-off point for me because my education would not be, fulfilled. But then one of the agreements that I made with my boyfriend at that time, who's now my husband, I said I wanted, I love you very much, but I have a dream. My dream is to continue my education and become an entrepreneur because my parents were entrepreneurs. They were farmers, and they had their own life creating jobs, helping the community in El Salvador. So that's what I learned. That's what they did there. So that's what I wanted to do anywhere I went. So that was America, of course. And I started, going to Houston Community College. Then I continued to the University of Houston and with family. I have 3 children, which is Yvette, Connie, and Alex. And I've been able to fulfill so many, many dreams. So after graduating from the University of Houston, I made a business plan. And the business plan was what took me to build my business. I had a dream to have a business that I can, innovate and something that will never go away. So I went into the waste management industry, and I've been scaling the business through my business plan. Then I put that business plan through to a growth plan. I went to, the University of Stanford University through a scaling program. The Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business created a growth plan for my business, and then Dartmouth University. So I attribute all my accomplishments is through hard work, dedication, and of course, education. Education, what I would tell anybody, is the key to everything, because no one can take your education away from you. And that's how I started my business, with the business plan. And while I was going to college, I was also working, and I was able to establish credit and a great relationship with bankers. They knew me who I was, and every time I bought something, I did it through credits, lines of credit. And my goal was to have that relationship when the time comes to build my business, because that was the vision I had since I was a little girl.
So you went.
What I did.
So
Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but just to have a sense of the process, because you went to high school, you had the problem with your English and the bullying, but you were stronger than that, and you overcame that challenge, correct? And then what was the secret to overcome that challenge, the bullying? How do you handle it? Just fighting back, or just what? How do you do it?
Well, it's always been believing in myself. And, my parents, were always supporting me, like education. That means you speak another language. That means you're bilingual. You have more value. And that's how I've been able to overcome so many obstacles, because it's a privilege that you know one more language than English. And that's how I did it, just believing in myself and moving forward, which is my favorite word. Never giving up, because that was never an option. And so I continue moving on, even when I applied for the line of credit with my business plan for my business. The documents for my loans were made out to María Ríos. And they were expecting María Ríos to sign the documents. And I went in with respect, like a hiccup, excuse me, but my name is María Ríos. I'm the president and owner of Nation Waste, and I'm the signer for that loan. And so it's always, sticking up, don't give up, and continue on your focus and your goals. And that's how it's always been with me.
That's so interesting. So you presented your loan application as Mario, because, the prejudice at the time, being a woman and then Latina and all that stuff. That was very smart. Now, how or... No.
I presented as María Ríos. They just misconcept. They were expecting because of the business.
Oh, I see.
The waste management business as María Ríos. As a woman, I'm the first Latina owner of a waste management company in the United States history.
Right.
The multi-million-dollar company in the history for Hispanic in the field of, which is dominated by men. It's just the concept of people or ridiculing you, or just because you're a woman, they just don't see things that we are able to accomplish because we can. We have value, we have dreams, and we also have, potential.
Of course.
That's what, I feel that it's important people to know that when you have a dream, don't let that dream go away. Make it happen. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. Just know that. But everything takes sacrifice. But, when it's done, it's a great satisfaction.
Right. So how come did you go to the waste disposal industry? I mean, You could go to any other business, any other space, but you went to that particular one. Why?
Absolutely. First and foremost, when I was creating the business plan, I wanted to do it in something that is sustainable. That is, trash will always be there, and somebody needs to pick it up. Recycling, and you can innovate. And in fact, we went from 1 division to 5 divisions, which I'll speak in just a minute. I'll share that information. But then when I was in my senior year, I was an intern for a year at a national waste management company. And I learned as much as I needed to in the industry and the environment. And that triggered me because we need to, waste management is a good subject. My main goal is to make trash to, for everything to be recycled, so to zero waste. That's my main philosophy. And we provide services to small business owners, Fortune 500 companies, government entities. We went from commercial and industrial recycling, and then portable toilets, which I had the privilege to be the service provider for the Super Bowl 51 in Houston. My headquarters is in Houston and Austin, Texas. Mm-hmm. And like the Barbara Bush funeral, we provide those the toilets for the hundreds of people that were attending. And also, we are the official company for the City of Houston Parks Division, the airports. It's just an opportunity of scaling your business. So it's not only just the services in the waste industry or making the money, but also it's a service that you can be a service to people and creating jobs. And, that's to me an important thing as well.
Right. Now, wasn't easy, right? So the growth wasn't like, okay, you open and next day you are growing. So it should be hard to succeed in your industry, correct?
Absolutely. Yes. It was very difficult. First and foremost, being a woman, a Latina in a male-dominated industry, in the waste management industry, I applied for 2 loans, bought 2 trucks, and then hired employees. But one of the main things that I applied immediately after I established my business, of course, I had a business plan. So a business plan is like you would say, GPS kind of thing to follow, mm-hmm. and then you can always keep on implementing that business plan. So what I did all the certifications as a woman, as a minority, certifications, through different things that are required in America to fulfill and to participate in the bidding process to compete with the big boys, we say, in the industry that I'm in or any industry that people are. They just need to be certified. And when you get that certification, that becomes like you are legit. You have gone through the process and you've been certified and verified, meaning that you're capable of what you offer. And that's how companies they do the business. And, we have hundreds of clients and thousands of small business owners as clients in the city of Houston and surrounding areas. And it wasn't easy in the beginning. It was just that. And then, at one point in time, I asked myself, oh, my God, what am I doing? I found my house, my heart, and everything else. And to get this line of credit for the business, and I don't have a client yet.
So you get the money, the line of credit, and you didn't have a client. Did you have to put your house as a collateral?
No, but what I'm saying is, it was through the business and through the business plan. When you owe money, you got to pay back. So if you don't pay back, then you got to find a way to pay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that was my philosophy. Like, I need to pay back. And building credit from day one and starting my business has always been extending of lines of credits every piece of equipment I have purchased. I have, the trucks or like from $270,000 to $370,000 per truck. I have dozens of those trucks, thousands of dumpsters, thousands of toilets throughout clientele. And of course, it takes money to make money, and it takes a lot of energy and risk. And of course, I've been able to take risks, but it has to be safe risks. as I'm getting contracts, then that's how I